Imagine this. You check your bank account at the end of the month, and somehow you're back near zero again. You're working, earning, trying, but it feels like nothing is sticking, like you're running on a treadmill with money. Look, this is exactly where most people get stuck. Not at 1 million, not at retirement, at $0 to $100,000. That first stretch, it's the hardest part of building wealth, and almost no one talks about why. Here's the thing, money doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows like a snowball. At the start, you're pushing with everything you've got, and it barely moves. That's your first $100,000. Slow, frustrating, almost invisible progress. But once it starts rolling, that's when it gets easier. And here's a stat that changes how you see everything. For long-term investors, the majority of wealth comes from compounding, not contributions, which means most of your money is made after you hit that first $100,000, not before. So why do most people never get there? Because early on, your effort doesn't match your results. You save $500, invest it, and a year later it's maybe $540. That doesn't feel exciting. It feels pointless. So people stop. But that's the trap. Because what you're really doing in that phase isn't getting rich. You're building the base. And the base is everything. It's like building a skyscraper. No one sees the foundation, but without it, nothing stands. Now add real life on top of that. Rent, food, bills. Most of your income disappears before you even think about saving, and whatever's left feels too small to matter, so you delay. I'll start when I make more. But when you make more, something else happens. Lifestyle inflation. You earn more, so you spend more. Better apartment, better car, better everything. And suddenly, you're still stuck at zero, just with nicer stuff. So the real problem isn't income, it's the gap. The gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where your first $100,000 comes from. And if that gap doesn't exist, nothing else matters. Now here's the part most people don't want to hear. If you can't consistently save your first $10,000, hitting $100,000 will feel almost impossible. Because it's not about the amount, it's about the habit. Saving isn't willpower, it's structure. If you wait until the end of the month to save, there will be nothing left. Always, you have to flip it. Pay yourself first. Automatically. Even if it's small, because small is how this starts. Let's say you invest $500 a month at around 8%. After 5 years, you're at roughly $36,000. Not life-changing, but stay consistent, and over time, that number starts accelerating. That's compounding quietly doing its job. Most people quit before that happens. They get bored, they get impatient, they chase faster money, and that's exactly why they never reach the point where money starts working for them. But if you don't quit, something shifts. At $100,000, an 8% return is $8,000 a year. That's real money. That's momentum. Now your money is helping you build more money. That's the turning point. So how do you actually get there? First, know your numbers. Most people have no idea where their money goes. Fix that, and you instantly gain control. Second, set a fixed savings rate and automate it, not whatever's left. A percentage, non-negotiable. Third, increase your income. Cutting costs helps, but earning more is what speeds this up. Skills matter more than people think. Fourth, invest consistently. No hype, no guessing, just steady, boring investing. And finally, protect your focus. If you're constantly comparing yourself to people spending money, you'll feel behind. And you'll spend too. That's how people stay stuck. Look, The $0 to $100,000 phase is supposed to feel slow. That doesn't mean it's not working. It means you're in the hardest part. And most people quit right here. But if you don't, if you stay consistent, keep the gap, and let time do its thing, you'll hit a point where it finally clicks, where progress feels real, where momentum takes over. So here's your move. Don't wait for more money. Don't wait for motivation. Start now. Automate your savings. Invest consistently. Build the system. Because once you get past that first $100,000, it gets a lot easier, but only if you don't quit before it starts working. Subscribe. This is about money,